All right, it is already that time. It is barely the new year, or it isn't the new year. One of the two, depending on when you're watching this.
Mhm.
And the Detroit Pistons, we got to start talking about draft order and what that could potentially mean for this team. The Pistons are firmly the worst record in the league right now, Chris. How does that make you feel? And also, I'm going to show a little graphic here for you. And this is the current NBA draft lottery odds. So I want you to feast your eyes on that a little bit. And I just want you to tell me, what are some things that pop out to you when you look at the draft lottery odds? First off, shout out to Tankathon. Thank you for making this so easy. Go ahead. Give me your
Yeah,
thought.
I think if it, flash forward to the beginning of the season, if you would have told me we'd be talking about this, I would have been like, "Are you kidding me?" But at the same time, when you've got Wembanyama sitting there, it makes it easier to digest
Mm-hmm.
this thought of us being a top 3 pick, number one. Just talking about odds and lottery. I just didn't want to do that again this year, but obviously injuries, whatever. Here we are, and
Yeah.
but
Injuries are a legit reason.
yeah, and so you just think, okay, we've got the players. It's not so you've got a team in the Pistons that has the upside ready to go. Oh, and by the way, you've got put yourself in a great position to draft a once in a generation type player. Okay, I'm it is what it is. So when I look at this graphic, I think to myself, hey, it is what it is. We're here. We're not like great. We're not going to shoot up to number 10 or picking number 12. We're going to
Yeah.
be in a top 3, top 5 pick. So let's start talking about what that means and where it is. So that's kind of where I'm at. Where are you at when you think about us being the worst record after such an exciting offseason? Where are you at?
Yeah. So I'm fine with it because of who is at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
And there are a few guys, but here's kind of where I'm coming along on this. If we are going to be a bottom 3 team, I want to be the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that that does not increase our chance to be number 1. Like, I get that. I can look at the numbers. You can all look at the numbers. There's a 14% chance for everybody. And quite frankly, with this new NBA lottery system that is only a couple years old or a few years old, everybody has a shot at number 1. I don't prescribe to number 1 is more likely to get number 1. No, but you know what it's less likely to get? Number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's right.
And so when I look at all these things, even number 1, your highest shot is to get the 5th pick. Look at that. It's the 5th pick.
Mm-hmm.
You're at 47.9% chance. You go in almost a 50-50 shot, either number 5 or 1 through 4. And I think when you start looking at things like that, it gets a little, this lottery is not a perfect system. So you have to have some luck, like we got with Cade. Last year, we went in with the 3rd best odds. We picked 5th, right? We could have picked all the way back to 7. That would have made a big difference.
That's right.
I think if you're looking at us last year picking 7th, what we end up doing is we end up drafting Jalen Duren at 7. And then what? No Ivy. Cade's out for the year. How does this team look right now? Like, what is your reason for watching? And that's the struggle. So I am a big fan of, like, we're not going to make the playoffs. So when I'm watching the Pistons right now, I want to see good competitive basketball. But at the end of the game, if they're still trying to learn to win and that produces losses, that's okay. Like,
100%.
it's just young guys on the floor. Am I crazy for that?
No, and we've talked about it. It's okay to do this one more year because of legitimate injuries, legitimate youth. This is not just we're a terrible team that needs to tank, that needs this player. Yes, it would be very nice if we can be a top 1 and be the number 1 pick. I mean, hello, let's do this.
Yeah.
But to your point, I just knowing you'd have a top 5 pick by being the worst team is like, thank you. Thank you. We've done, and you would just feel good about it because you're so right. If you're picking 3rd, this is what's so nice about this graphic. If you're the 4th worst record, then yeah, you can fall all the way back to 9 or whatever, and that makes a big difference. And so you just if we're at this point already, let's just be a top 1-2 and just come on. Like seriously.
Yeah.
We just got to do it one more year. We keep saying that, but for real, one more year and now we've got the most exciting basketball team. If we get Wembanyama, let's just play this out for a second. You are now the most exciting basketball team for the next 5 years that you can ever imagine. How cool would that be?
Well,
Oh
it would
yeah.
be amazing.
Oh,
And it would be absolutely amazing. And I think what's great about this and what you have to see is there are a large amount of good players. And I personally think it's kind of 3 and then everybody else for what the Pistons need.
okay.
But and here's the big board. We're going to show this on your screen right now. And I think obviously everybody wants Wembanyama, wounded for Wemby. Duh. Like, and Pistons fans actually are feeling a little bit differently just because he's so tall, so thin. But like, I get that. I get that. But you really do, when it's this guy, have to take a shot at that.
100%.
But let's say we fall to 5. Who's sitting at 5 right now? It's Brandon Miller. I've been able to watch some Brandon Miller at Alabama. Dude is just a shooter. All right. He can shoot. He plays well. He is a good player. And so like, you're telling me if we go Brendan Miller, right? We get a guy who's right now shooting almost 45% from 3. Okay. 45% from 3. In some ways, this works even better. All you do, that's a plug and play player.
That's right.
At the 3. And that allows you, and he can learn under Bogey, but he's a guy that can play the 3, some small ball 4, and he just stretches the floor. What a perfect fit next to what is already going to be a ball dominant backcourt with Ivy, with Cade Cunningham. You need a guy who can space the floor. We have a front court that's already shaping out with Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren. Like those 2 guys are making the Pistons fun to watch right now, along with Ivy and Killian until he got ejected. But like, it's actually fun to watch. So either one of these guys can go in the starting lineup and make this thing crazy. And there is a world where if we get Wemby, he starts alongside Duren, alongside Stewart. Like there's a world where that happens and we just go super long and super big in the front court, like the Cavs and some other teams are starting to do.
But
it's just not, and the Jazz.
To your point, we're focused on him. I get it. We would love that.
There's more.
But yeah, because you all of a sudden you look, you're like, well, we have the front court depth maybe, and then so you get a shooter or you get a guy. What stands out to me in that big board, Craig, is the youth, man. It's freshmen or it's all freshman dudes. It's all 18, 19-year-olds. It's all high ceiling. It's just holy smokes, let's go.
18.9, 18.9, 19.9, 18.7, 20.1. Okay, I'll take it.
Oh,
I'll take
any of those top 5. Any of those top 5, you say sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh. And here's the thing. Remember when it was Zion Williamson and Ja Morant 1-2?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, all right, this is what this is shaping up to be. And there is absolutely a world where you get the second pick and you have to take Scoot Henderson and figure out the rest later, right? Where that is actually even more of a win than getting Wembanyama, because Wembanyama either struggles with injuries or something like that. But I don't think anybody in Memphis is upset they got Ja Morant instead of Zion Williamson.
Absolutely. And right, you're so right. That at that year it was like, I guess we'll take Ja. And it's the same thing with Scoot, same feeling. And who knows what he'll turn out to be, but exactly.
Just the athleticism that would be if you had Scoot Henderson, Jaden Ivey in the backcourt, Cade Cunningham playing the 3 with the big front court of Stewart and Duren. Like, I mean, like you just look at these things and you salivate. So when you start to realize you're not going to make the playoffs, Pistons fans, don't feel bad for saying, I want Wembanyama, I want Scoot Henderson, I want Miller. Like it's okay. You're allowed to start rooting for your team to have a top 3 to 5 draft pick, because that's where we're going to be. We're not going to make the playoffs. Cade's not coming back.
Nope. Oh,
he's not coming back till next year. Let's get a little more talent. And then all of a sudden we are the scariest young team without a doubt in the NBA, we would separate from that bottom 10 as the very clear, all right, they're the next team that's going to take the next
100%.
step.
And Wembanyama 7'2" is so funny because
He might even be taller by now.
I
don't
swear
know.
he is. And when you watch him, it's just step back 3. That's why it's
Doesn't
so.
make sense.
It's like, what are you doing? I don't know what this guy's doing. So all of a sudden, you'd have so much length. I mean, you like you said, Craig, you can start playing all these scenarios because you go Cade and then Wembanyama. So you have your point guard is huge. Your
Yep.
center is massive.
Yep.
You've got Ivy slashing. You've got length all over the place.
Yes.
It would just be like, who's gonna get it? Oh, who's
And
gonna
that's
get
the
a
beautiful
rebound?
thing about Wembanyama. That's why everybody loves him, because on the defensive end, he's a shot blocker extraordinaire, right? He's going to block shots. He's going to protect the rim, or protect the paint, right? But on the offensive side, he's a floor spacer. Like on the offensive side, you can put him at the 4. You can put him at the 3 if you wanted to.
Who's gonna guard him?
Who's going to guard him? So it's one of those things where like he can space the floor, so he can play very easily next to Jalen Duren. And that's one of the things people talk about. And if they watch this video all the way through, it is very easy. Wembanyama is not going to be a starting center in this league. He's not your anchor. He is a stretch 4 that also is an absolute elite shot blocker, maybe the best shot blocker in the league the moment he enters it.
Unbelievable.
That's what he is.
Okay, so that's the player I forgot. So you have Cade, Wembanyama, Duren,
Yep.
Ivy all over the place.
They're everywhere.
Length galore. And you're so right. He's a defensive dude, Wembanyama. And you're like, all right, cool. You know, like a slow, big, defensive shot blocker. Nope. Come down to the offensive floor. He's bringing the ball up. Your center's like, shoot, do I got him then, or who's on him? And
I don't know what to do.
who's going to guard him, because you have to have a little bit of quickness. So you can't just put this, so anyway, that would just be, I don't know. So
Unreal.
Cool. It's just fun to, when you put the names up and you look at the sizes and the ages and some of the, it's just like, we're fine with where we are. Just don't become like the third worst record. And then we have the 8th. We can fall to the 8th pick. That's what.
And all of a sudden, all these guys are out of play, and the season was just lost.
Just lost. So yeah, I love it.
Maybe there's still talent later in the board. That's for another video at another time. But hey, thanks, man. This is good. See, you just got excited talking Pistons basketball because we're talking the future. So it's okay. It's allowed. It's allowed. Unfortunately, we're going to be talking the future for the next 6 months. Okay, we'll see you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button below and leave a comment. Let us know who you're rooting for us to pick. And if you're actively rooting for the team to get the worst record in the league this year.
Yes.
See you on the next one.
See ya. Bye.